and Games in Asia. I am Nick Yako with Soldra Hubo, the one and only. So if you're just joining us, WE took game 1 of the set of 2 over YG in a 37-minute thriller. So take us through this one, Soldra. What was the big key that was W's victory?
I mean, it really was just early cleaning up on all sides of the map. They played out the early game so well, and Axines especially, he got the MVP. He was both my MVP and, the analysis desk's MVP for that game 1, and he just played so well. He got all of his laners the advantages they need to basically ensure that they could take down turrets with impunity. He was able to create picks on the enemy solo laners, particularly Diangun's Syndra, who got camped ruthlessly over and over, and he really was able to. He just had mastery over both Dragon and Baron. He invested in a lot of early wards and pink wards, so just really a class act from Axine. Admittedly, it was against Young Glory, and Young Glory doesn't offer the stiffest of competition, but just nice job from Axine to keep it all together and basically clean up the side of Young Glory, and I expect the same in Game 2, frankly.
Are you sure? We are switching sides, so YG is going to switch over to red, and WE gets to experience the blue side fun, so maybe that'll have something to do, maybe that'll change, but I mean, the objective control was just there for WE. They went 5-0 on Dragons, they took the Baron, and they just had tower control all the time. They had map control, they had pink wards in the enemy jungle, and they had at least 4 or 5 wards on the map at all times.
I mean, just again, and a lot of those wards were on the opponent's side of the map, and they just cleaned out the enemy ward coverage so well. So really, the members of Young Glory honestly had no idea where World Elite was for probably about 90% of that game. Just the entire field, the entire mini-map was just black for them. Just really, really a good game, and I expect the same things out of World Elite, especially since they do have this first pick right here. So, if I were a member of YG, the side of World Elite has the first pick, so I'd be banning Lulu and Kale, because if Chowman gets his hands on one of those picks, it might be murder again.
So, there are supposed long breaks between matches in this LPL, so might be a little bit before picks and bans get underway, who knows, but remember, this is not the only set we have for you tonight. Believe it or not, after this, it's going to be a very, very hyped-up match, and I think I speak for myself and Soldier over here when I say we are so excited to be able to bring this one. OMG and IG, definitely going to be a very hyped-up match. OMG faltered a little bit with 2 ties, so this is their chance, as IG's tied for first, to kind of jump back up in the standings and try to fight back.
Nick, I am positively marinating in excitement right now.
Again, there's that vocabulary from somebody of...
But really, that should be a really good game. It is to note that one of OMG's ties have come against the side of Edward Gaming, and another of OMG's ties, I believe, came against who did they come against? I don't remember off the top of my head, but OMG has had a pretty tough schedule, and they have another tough match against Invictus Gaming. Invictus Gaming beat OMG in the LPL Spring Playoffs, so just obviously you and I are both looking forward to that next match. I'm sure the fans are looking forward to that next match, but we do have one more game between World Elite and YG, with World Elite on red side this time. On blue side this time, and having first pick advantage.
I wonder how it's going to change. Think about it. WE got so many coveted picks that game, all because number 1 went with the first pick Kale. That left open Lulu top lane for Chow Mei and the Lee Sin in the jungle. So
I really think that if they were going to pick the Kale first anyways, they really should have thought about banning
Lulu
on their last ban rotation, just to put World Elite in a bit of an awkward situation, and basically to force them to either ban the Kale or to go with something completely different in the top lane for Chow Mei. So, Chow Mei really loves that top Lulu and that top Kale. We were talking before Game 1 that, whenever those 2 champions are up, he will almost always pick them, and we might see a situation where Young Glory has to ban both the Kale and the Lulu, which will basically empower World Elite to basically pick up any single OP that they want to.
I love the format of this. I love the set of 2 series format so much more than things like, for instance, the NA and EU LCSs have just the best of 1, kind of just keep going all for the playoff brackets. But I like this set of 2 so much better because you get to see how teams can adapt and what they do pick-wise, ban-wise, just to try and counteract the teams in the second game, target it out. So now you're probably going to see the Lee Sin banned out and potentially the Lulu. So we'll see what is chosen to match by WE.
Yeah, I mean, but, really, the side of Young Glory, since, Young Glory experienced so many threats on the side of WE, from World Elite on the last game, what with Axiom playing out of his mind, with Conan playing very well in his Leona, Wei Zhao playing very well on Lucian. Lucian is clearly his best champ at this point in time. It's really hard if you're a member of Young Glory because you do want to bail that Kayle and that Lulu, especially if you are, letting World Elite pick first. And then what else do you ban? You ban the Lee Sin? Well, there are a ton of other OP champions for World Elite to pick up. So really, just WE has, at least at this point in time, in my eyes, has full control of this pick ban phase, and I think they are going to be able to get every single champion that they want to again.
Well, we are into picks and bans, ladies and gentlemen. So, talking over this one, the first ban going to be Karma, and WE on the blue side now in those blue trunks. Going to be picking up that one first. Thresh, support down for the count by YG, and now I'd expect honestly WE to try and pick up the Kog'Maw 80 carry pickup this time around.
Right. I mean, they banned there are 3 supports banned, 2 supports from YG and 1 from World Elite. I guess Young Glory knows that should Thresh and Braum still be up, they will almost always first pick the Thresh and Braum. The Kayle ban from World Elite is particularly interesting, especially since Chow Mei thrives on that champion. So I'm guessing that the plan is to first pick the Lulu and save it as a flex pick because the Lulu can go either in the top or the middle lane. So a LeBlanc ban, again, a very nice target ban against Diangun. He doesn't shine on many other champions besides LeBlanc, even though his Syndra was okay, and we might a Kassadin ban, so we might see the Lulu. We will see the Lulu. I do believe that is Lulu for Chow Mei.
So it's unfortunate, but I think your stream now that I've switched over, I was told to swap over a little bit, but yours is ahead of mine now, so we got to resync these up, and it sucks because we had them so good for the last game. It was like so close. It was like not even a second difference, but now got to try and get those resynced up. But Lulu is the first pick from WE, so definitely covered up by Chow Mei, but left open in the top lane for number 1 is a Jax if they so choose to lock it in.
Right, and obviously I think it's you who has to refresh because if I'm ahead technically.
I'm going to go refresh right now.
Okay, sure. And I'll just keep talking. But, Jax and Yasuo locked in right here. And I do think that, Nami is a very good answer to Jax and Yasuo. I also think despite the fact that Syndra has problems in lane against Yasuo, Syndra is very good against double melee champions just because of how good she zones, melee carries. So should Lulu most likely go to the top lane to Chow Mei, I think Syndra will be a very nice answer from Ninja here, even though I don't know if it is quite in Ninja's champion pool. But to our viewers who are currently looking, it is...
I got it set up again.
Okay, sure.
It's the Nami.
Perfect. Yeah, it is the Nami and the Lee Sin on the board for World Elite. So World Elite just getting all these priority picks, even though...
Again.
Yeah, I don't think Conan's Nami is great, but hopefully he'll have a good game this time.
Well, I mean, they were talking about it a little bit earlier, so now we can see what support is picked up. We might trade Leona for Nami on both ends, but Zyra is also...
Yeah, I mean, we have the J4 and Zyra. This is really setting up a Syndra right here. I think that would be such a great pick at this point, or an Orianna. But YG really is all about smashing face at this point, and oh my goodness. Twitch. I really hope that's not a top lane Soraka, because I think... Oh, my goodness. Okay, so they do lock in the top lane Soraka. You are?
I'm still behind you somehow.
Oh, my God.
It's such disappoint. I guess I have to refresh again.
Okay, maybe I'll refresh as well, but...
Okay, let's go for it.
I think top lane Soraka is so bad.
We were talking about this beforehand. You were talking... I hope they don't pick top lane Soraka.
Right. I just think it's not a good champion. I mean, she got nerfed really heavily, but, World Elite does decide to lock in the Lucian. good tower siege, good wave clear. So I guess this is another composition centered around Wei Zhao and Axine making early picks. Another composition predicated on that early push. So I think they could have gone in other directions outside of Soraka top, but it's not a bad pick.
So the Jarvan now taken away, and well, I mean this is very, very similar to the picks that we had last time around. We get to see another Jarvan. We get to see very, very much so WE got exactly what they were looking for. The Lucian, the Lee Sin, the Lulu, but I mean the switch ups now, Soraka and Nami.
Right, and Twitch is locked in. Soraka, I never actually thought of this, but Soraka might actually be a very interesting and strong counter pick to the Yasuo. Just because Soraka, Yasuo's Flow Shield, his passive Way of the Wanderer, the shield doesn't do much against the spam of star calls coming out from Ninja's Soraka, and also Ninja has no projectiles in his Soraka kit, so it might be him just, completely stomping all over Jiangun. So a really interesting counter pick coming out, and I'm quite excited, honestly, to see how those two interact in lane.
It's going to be fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the picks and the bans, all that good stuff. So game's actually going to be starting very, very soon right now. And if you're just joining us, WE again took game 1 on the red side in 37 minutes. It was close for a while, but then it just became more and more skewed in their favor as it progressed. So we'll see now if it will be a tie and a split, if YG can manage to take this one home on the red side now. But WE, with that commanding victory last time around, it's hard to tell if YG will be able to come and bounce back.
Yeah, and I certainly do not think that Young Glory's World Elite's comp is as clear-cut as it was in Game 1, because the Soraka is a really flexible but doesn't siege turrets that well, while when you have the Lucian and Lee Sin, you want to be really aggressive early. So I do expect Axine to perform very well again on his Lee Sin, getting that priority champion, but I think it might be a little bit harder for the side of World Elite, especially if Young Glory is able to capitalize on a few early objectives.
Ah, here it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Aw, yeah.
Camera zooming in, and you know what that means? We are going to be on to the rift for Game 2 of this set between WE and YG. So, give me the rundown here. Let's talk before we get into your featured matchup. Right off.
Right. So my featured matchup really has to be, Axine on his Lee Sin versus Yinfu on his Jarvan 4. And I honestly, I don't have a lot of confidence in Yinfun's Jarvan 4, because he did play the champion last time. He got brutally out-rotated by Axine's Lee Sin, and I fear that we might just see the same thing again with both of these champions. I mean, just really, Yinfun has to be way more active around the map, and he really does have to try to read Axine. But what can you do against a Lee Sin that's so mobile and really just outwards you at every single point in the game?
So now we'll see what the early game strategies come to be. YG going for the same thing they did last time around, looking for a potential red buff invade. And they got first blood last game, so it went very well in their favor. But will WE fend this one off? Looks like they get some ward coverage down, using out those clearing trinkets already. And YG just going to have an uncontested route here.
Yeah, and I mean, interesting that both World Elite and Young Glory do grab early red trinkets, albeit on different champions. The thing is, though, is that World Elite, despite the early invade coming out from Young Glory, World Elite knows generally what their, where the wards are around the map, while YG doesn't, because they didn't ward the top red side of their map. So World Elite might be able to play a small mind game with Young Glory here. They might be able to send, 4 members to the top lane and possibly contest this red buff if the other members of Young Glory decide to go to the red buff as well. But it does look like they might just be going to the blue buff, and World Elite fully know this.
Yep, so it's just going to be another red buff trade like we saw last time around. No big contest or anything like that. They'll just kind of let it happen. Maybe we'll get to see those early ganks. I mean, I think I speak for everybody here, but Dian-Goon last game around on that center pickup, he just...
my goodness.
It was not pretty. He was getting focused. He was getting stacked up so much, and it was definitely not a great start for him out. So.
Okay, this is interesting. So...
Give it to me straight, Hubo. It's interesting.
Okay, so, I mean... Zhenlong decides to take ambush first, and then he does go towards the top lane. I think he was able to spot out another early gank from World Elite. Last time it was Young Glory that set up for this early gank, but I reminded you that it was World Elite that like to set up for these ganks, and then we might see a kill on Ninja here. This is going to be a 3-on-3 fight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ninja on the best position, but it is going to be 3v3, level 2. Here we go. Knockup's only going to land on a Ninja, and that was very, very anticlimactic. Everybody's just going to back off, so...
Yeah, you are a little bit ahead of me, so I'll try to work around that. However, I really fear for this Yasuo, because if so far it looks like Ninja is really heavily punishing the side of Jiangun's Yasuo on Young Glory, and given how poorly Young Glory wards in the first 15 minutes of the game, well, given how poorly Young Glory wards in general, Ninja might have free reign onto this Yasuo and just really start forcing him out of lane. This is not good if you're a fan of Young Glory.
So we're going to see more 2v0 setups, and same story as last time around. The top laners falling out their junglers for the standard procedure now. And it looks like they're going to go for an early dragon. WE on the blue side, no ward coverage. They might have this one uncontested. It's going to be a dragon. First one of the game, if they can get this one down. But Ninja potentially getting engaged on this dragon, taking a little bit of time for it to die, but even still,
is interesting.
Early gold over to WE. This is what we like to see from China.
This right now. Oh my goodness, they might get caught out.
If they get the dragon out,
they
just got to kill the dragon. Well, they got the dragon. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Flash, that's going to be a counter-strike, but Windwall is used up, so nothing going to count. Sonic Wave lands. Oh, man, Sin going in hardcore, but he is going to back out, so no casualties, and even still, early dragon, and the gold lead over to WE.
Okay, I did pause my stream for a little bit, so hopefully... Oh god, it just reloaded again. I'm dumb. Anyways,
good guy, Hubo.
it just reloaded again.
Plays.
So yeah, to no avail basically. But
hashtag
really
LPL big plays.
Yeah, we really got to. That's trending on Twitter now. People, you know, Twitch chat, you know what to do. But a really nice move from World Elite to go and capitalize on that dragon. Especially since the side of World Elite knows that the members of Young Glory won't take that top tier turret. They basically know that the dragon is free. Additionally, the CS on both of the AD carries on Wei Zhao and for Zhenlong are even. So, both Wei Zhao and crew are in a very comfortable position right now, especially with I mentioned before, Ninja's really punishing Jiangun in lane. So I really don't expect that to change. I mean, Soraka, what a counter pick. I didn't know it was this bad, even though based on the kit, it really should be.
And usually when we see kind of a Yasuo picked up, a lot of Chinese teams like to play Renekton to counter if correct. So Soraka bringing back that one to the table now. A lot of pushing is there for Ninja.
Yeah,
Yinfu is waiting in the depths.
Right. I mean, thankfully for sorry, I'm a little bit sick, as you can see. For Jiangun, Soraka is a champion that doesn't have a lot of kill pressure, so he will be able to recall back towards lane. And now, number one's Jax is coming to cover for him. So, again, more interesting moves, but it looks like World Elite really is getting the better of this early game at this point in time.
And we get to see more roaming Conan. In last game, Conan on Leona was all across the map. Even early on, it was just Wei Zhao by himself in the bottom lane. And it looks like we're going to see this again, so...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, we talk about roaming support on Conan. Leona is a champion that, you'll see a lot of challenger teams play Leona, because a lot of challenger teams have problems setting picks and finding sources of hard engage. So Leona's almost just, she's... Not exactly, but nearly an ulti bot. You just go and basically mash your face into the keyboard and hope for the best. But, for Nami, if you want to make plays on Nami, you really have to be an elite support. And I can say right now that Conan is not an elite support. So I'm really interested to see how it does perform on this Nami. And hopefully, he will be presented with the opportunity to prove me wrong.
So the top lane tier 1... very, very low for WE. You could see that one being pushed down by Zhenlong and Yancer, but we'll back off a little bit. A little bit of engagement. Sin versus Yinfu. Who's going to win this one? Mono. It's going to be Wish being used up as well. And no casualty again. We're still 0-0. 7 minutes in. No first blood.
And, I mean, this game is going very well for World Elite. They just wanted to start pressuring these lanes right now and eventually take that turret. World Elite's just... The fact that World Elite's early game T-fight and early game utility is so strong this is just really setting up Wei Xiao to have a really nice game. And ooh, nice play right there.
Well, I'm eager to see this nice play
Oh.
progress. As
Okay, I'll delay my words a little bit.
Oh, man.
But,
is he gonna
but
stay
really-
alive? Flash no, first blood over in the mid lane.
okay, but really nice play coming out from the side of Young Glory. But we might see another fight in the top lane.
That's the question, being polymorphed up, so Bubble does miss it up, and now Xiao Mei. Can Zhenlong actually make this a trade for the ages? He's actually on the defensive now. Teleport's coming in, but he will be falling down. Flash auto attacks. Conan picks it up, and he might just go down now to the Jax.
Yeah, I question whether number one really needed to flash for that kill, especially since he was heading towards the turret. But nice job from the side of Young Glory. You know, you really see that's what early ward coverage does for you. You know, you see the 2 pink wards on the bottom side of River, and those are the wards. You know, I believe that one of the pinks was recently placed, but one of those has been there for I think about 5 or so minutes, and that's the kind of vision that really helps you make plays. And you saw, you know, Axiom trying to make a play onto his own red buff, but YG was able to go in there, clean up, help. Sorry, Tiangun was able to activate Last Breath off of Yinfu's the standard
Dragon
into
Rage?
the
Oh,
knockup,
standard,
and they were able to just take out Axiom. So really nice plays coming out from the side of Young Glory.
Almost made it out, though. Did get a couple of flashes for his troubles. Now, I mean, this mid lane, like you said, very, very good one. Ninja versus Diangoon. I mean, that's Soraka versus Yasuo matchup. Diangoon's just having a little bit of a hard time. Does pick up an early kill down in CS, but this lane just keeps getting shoved in his face all the time.
And the big thing right here is that Diangoon grabbed the Avarice Blade first, while the Dragon has 30 minutes left until it respawns. So basically, unless Diangoon goes and invests a lot of gold right now, right at this exact moment, it looks like he is about to back, then there's no way that Young Glory can contest this Dragon. I mean, all of the members of World Elite are so strong at this particular moment.
20 seconds. We'll see what happens. But the first Dragon did go to Team WE, so they are 1-0 on that front. Zhenlong does come around to potentially bait out Ninja, but Ninja doesn't want any of that. He sees what he's doing, definitely does not like it. 7 seconds to Dragon time, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see what happens. Teleport is up for Xiao Mei on the Lulu, but down for the count for number 1. So he's on the top side of the jungle. Might have to make his way down. It looks like he's doing just that.
I mean, yeah, really smart of World Elite to start posturing for this Dragon. Hopefully, you know, I think it's Axiom's hope that he can find a small pick here or there and then translate towards the jungle. It's actually YG that decides to go for the Dragon first. So all the gold is even, and World Elite should know this. So I think they will be contesting the Dragon. And Xiao Mei's teleport is up, so he's coming in right now.
Have to hang up. This Dragon is going down pretty quick. Ward over the wall. Gonna get some sight. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Piercing light being used up. The Dragon is getting melted, but Ninja on the backside getting soloed up by the Jax. The calling channel out as well. Windwall and a kick. The Dragon is still alive, and Ninja's in the pit just duking it out. Nice Stranglethorn as well, but a nice last breath. And look at this fight going on, progressing all the way through 4-2 now. That's gonna be another kill. Look at this one. Wei Xiao from the backside, ladies and gentlemen. Yansert down, and that's a great fight there. A nice play. And that is going to be the ace for Team W. 6-2. Dragon still, though, not in their favor, but even still, nice fight.
You know, despite the fact that Diangoon was able to, sorry, not Diangoon, Yinfu was able to smite out that Dragon, it's completely not worth it. Completely clean. I believe World Elite didn't lose any member of their squad, so a completely clean ace for the side of World Elite. They are now firmly in control of this game. I mean, that's exactly what WE needed to steamroll the rest of this game and snowball into a victory. Just what a really nice play.
So the Dragon, though, did go over to the side of YG, and even still, an ace, though, early on for W. That's going to set them so much further ahead in that trade. So out of the replay now, and now we get to see what happens. I'm apparently Canadian now with my out of the replay accent, but Tier 1 bottom lane turret goes down, and it's 1-0. WE back on top.
Yeah, and I mean, just Axiom played so well right there. Also, Wei Xiao just landed a full culling onto the side, onto the roster of Young Glory. As the fans probably know, my video isn't exactly synced up, so I'm doing this out of memory. And just, you know, both Wei Xiao and Axiom played really well. Also, Xiao Mei teleported to a nice location, so while Ninja was occupying 1 or 2 members on the side of YG, Xiao Mei was able to teleport in, activate his wild growth, and basically save I think it was Axion from dying too early. So just nice plays from all around the map, from every single member of the team.
So now it's going to be Deanne Goon taking out these the Wraiths. 1-0 on turns for WE for just joining us. 3,000 gold in their favor early on of a nice 5 for pretty much an ace for themselves. But in the top lane, we're seeing an engagement as well. And it is going to be number 1 down for the count.
Nice
Chalmei picks up the kill. Ninja now in the mid lane ignited as well. And that's going to be a kill. So now Soraka down for the count, flashing out. And a nice play in the mid lane by Deanne Goon. This tier 1 turret in the mid might be falling down as there is a big grouping from Yancer and the rest of YG right now. So half HP getting melted pretty quick.
Chalmei should really take this top lane turret, and he doesn't. So basically, Young Glory are able to grab a kill, even though Chalmei did grab a kill in the top lane. Young Glory are able to exchange it as well as grab a top lane turret. So when you have this wombo combo comp in like YG does, you can just camp around brushes. You can camp around objectives. And when I say objectives, not just Baron and Dragon, but your own red buff and blue buff, the enemy buffs, and really just look for those fights. Look to activate that wombo combo. And when you get that pick off, then you really can go and siege the next turret or grab a Baron. I mean, the world is open for YG at this moment in time.
So now it's going to be number 1 taking down this tier 1 in the top lane if he so chooses to do so, which he probably should. WE pressuring out the mid lane tier 1. The turret falls to the top, so it's 2-1. There is a lead now for YG on that front, but it is back and tied up. Will WE go for a potential engagement? That is the question, and it so looks like they will not.
Yeah, missed the resonating sonic wave.
Yeah, that's not going to go. He's not going to take that one any further, but does get a nice little flash for his troubles. So
yes, he does.
3 now, and it is a 2-2 turret tie, 22 to 20,000 gold, 2,000 gold advantage for WE. It is a 1-1 dragon split. And now, 14 minutes in, we get to see the rest of this early game.
Yeah, and despite the fact that Young Glory has been pulling out a few small wins in their skirmishes in the first 15 minutes of the game, Wardley is, if I remember Wardley, I'd be feeling fairly comfortable right now. I mean, a 2,000 gold lead before 15 minutes is pretty gargantuan, frankly. So, I mean, as long as as long as Wardley isn't too set back by their, team fight woes, and they're able to regroup and start sieging a few turrets, I think they should be in line for another clear win in a team fight, if not the game.
So red buff going over there now to Wei Zhao. Dragon's up in just under 2 minutes, so 1-1 split. We'll see who gets a little bit of an advantage on that one. Oh man, so this tier 1 being pressured out by Deanne Goon on the Yasuo. Conan and Wei Zhao gonna wave clear it up, and this is a little bit of a potential baiting by YG.
Yeah, Yancer decides to show himself, and I do not know if the side of Worley has the resources to stop this turret take, especially since there are 4 members of Young Glory on this side of the map. Chalmei has his teleport almost up right now, so again, Worley has basically reset the map, even though they are even in turrets, and I given the fact that they've lost a few fights, I bet they feel even in gold, and Ninja might get cut out very soon. But
he's chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Number 1's coming around the back. He answers as well. Oh man, can they get the grass roots? They're not even going to progress on that one. But 50 seconds to drag. Flashes force from Conan. Tidal Wave being used for disengagement purposes and only lands onto Zhenlong. So not going to have too much of an impact at that one. 40 seconds to drag. That's not going to be up for the next engagement.
I mean, this is just because I was talking before how a lot of teams that weren't strategically sufficient pick champions that, like Leona, that had a really strong engage. The problem for World Elite is that they've been, really managing their wards really well, and they've been, camping the enemy's brushes and such. But just because none of their champions have really hard crowd control, hard AoE crowd control, it's been difficult, to say the least, for WE to grab either grab a pick or to challenge for an objective, just because they feel unconfident going into fights. So again, we talked about Conan's Nami. If you're an elite playmaker and you're on Nami, then the world is open for you. But however, if you're not an elite playmaker and Conan is not an elite playmaker, then there are problems.
So Dragon is up now, and number 1 trying to duel out Chalmei. Does not quite get the stun up. Yancer taking some good bits of damage as well. Sonic Wave goes wide right. Nice job dodging it around, but Dragon is up. So we will see who gets this one. Teleport from both top laners is available. Will they go for the fight? That is the question. Wards over the wall. WE look like they have control of the pit, so this could be their objective to lose right now, but there is a ward deep in there that will not be caught out. So YG Could potentially try for a smite steal. Who knows? Teleport is coming into the backside. We could see a nice fight, ladies and gentlemen. Double teleports. Here we go. Dragon goes to the red team. YG on the steal. Nice last breath. And a fight back of it in. Stranglethorn as well. Double knock him. But look at the fight progressing all the way through. Xiaomei trying to fight it. Ninja picks up the kill, and that's number 1 down for the count. Wei Xiao picks up another one for his troubles as well. That was Zhenlong on the run. He's going to fall down. And will he make it? Oh, man, he's not going to fall down yet. Gets the stealth up. So actually, Zhenlong may be able to survive, and they will just kind of let him be. But even still, 3 down, and that is going to be a 1 fight for WE despite the Dragon going over to YG.
Yeah, and I mean, they were able to get a 3 for 0 right there, so basically, and I think we might see Wei Xiao chasing Zhenlong, not letting him recall right now. This is interesting.
This is very interesting indeed. Is he going to try to stealth it out? Just juke it out, why not? Walking like a cheeky little boy.
So.
Oh, wait, the dash over the wall, Wei Xiao! Boom, shakalaka.
Okay, so that's a very nice, and again, sorry to the audience because I am a little bit ahead, and this stream is not letting me pause for some reason.
It's because you're bad.
Yeah, probably. Bronze, report me. Unfortunately, fortunately for World Elite, despite losing the Dragon, they were able to get 4 kills, and I do believe that 2 or 3 of those kills were onto Wei Xiao, and at least 1 of them were onto Xiaomei. So really nice job by WE. They were able to juggle the damage, and they were able to and Conan was able to put his exhaust right onto Diangun right before Diangun put off the last whisper onto 2 of World Elite's carries. So nice, job by every member of the team on the team of World Elite, especially Conan, who uses Aqua Prison well, used the Tidal Wave well, and was able to put the exhaust on Diangun before he did too much damage.
So despite 2 Dragons going over in favor, or rather the one of WE, the gold lead is still incredibly skewed towards WE on that 11-3 kill spread. And as well 4 turrets to 2. So picking up Baron, and WE just coming out on the all-out offensive, 1-0 in their favor in this set of 2. So if they win this one, they would have outright first place in the standings of LPL, I do believe.
Yeah, I was thinking, and you look towards the items right now, Wei Xiao actually got a Bloodthirster, and I suspect he's going to get the Trinity Force next. I was hoping he would go the Name build, which is, has Lucidity boots and yada, yada, yada. Just because, when you do have the magic resistance shred of the Soraka on your team, despite Soraka's nerfs, champions like Lulu and, possibly a penetration champion like Corki, like Ezreal, like Lucian, for example, would be really strong. But unfortunately for me at least, Wei Xiao does decide to go the normal Bloodthirster Trinity Force route. And
again, potential to note, this is on patch 4.9, so no
yes, sir.
Destroyed Bloodthirster, so he's not going to have no weird shield.
I don't think we'll be seeing Bloodthirster in patch 4.10. I don't think it's a very strong item right now.
It's down for the count out on this 4.10 patch. So number 1 actually getting dueled out a little bit. Aqua Prison lands, and he might try to duel us a kick back, and a nice job by Sin, but now Sonic Wave lands again. Will he wait for this one over the wall? Flashes force, nicely done by WE. So down for the count, next fight, going to be the Flash, number 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly awkward lull for both teams because we might see another fight here.
I have to wait just a little bit to catch out this
hyped,
fight.
Though.
It's so hyped. Aqua Prison does land. Oh man, look at the burst. Wei Xiao picks up the kill onto the support, but a nice last breath combination. Down for the count goes Conan. So 12-4 and a 1-for-1 trade once that passive of the Zyra goes down.
Yeah.
So
really nice job from Diangun to be able to pick up the return kill. I mean, that was almost entirely him. And honestly, just, again, we're back into this lull of really World Elite not knowing what to do. And World Elite's ward coverage and vision pressure is considerably worse than it was in the last game. And I think they have to do more to ward the enemy side of the map and try to find picks because, so far it looks like, frankly, World Elite's too scared to go and siege turrets on their own. So if you don't want to siege turrets, what are the other options? You either camp the enemy buffs, or you set up Baron or Dragon, or, just look for picks, right? So World Elite, finally, they're clearing out the Baron buff, and I think at this point in the game, they really have to try to, bait out this Dragon or start it, because their team composition does do Dragon relatively quickly.
Well, even when they started up those Dragons, still 2 of them gone over to YG on nice smite steals out by the jungler Yinfu, so counter jungling it up. Maybe we'll see a 5v5 engagement, maybe we'll see a turret siege, who knows. But WE just trying to take some jungle control right now, trying to take down some pink wards. Sonic Wave actually lands on the answer. He's actually going to flash, and the kick actually hits Yinfu in the jungle. So A little bit of heelsies, the culling being channeled out as well. And we're not going to see any fights start up, but even still, WE still just going very offensive in the enemy jungle.
Oh, there's a duel between Chao Mei and Dian on the bottom lane.
Oh, let's see who wins this one. Chao Mei kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, but does not get the knock-up. He's dashing around everything.
Nice
Can he get a
kill.
juke? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mano y mano, but Chao Mei, why not? Just with a little bit, you know, those. Nice.
Oh my
nice
god, dude!
play.
I can barely do this I can barely do this delay. This
You should-
future prediction casting.
It's
thing.
like
This
you're
is
trying.
really
You're
hard.
hyping up everything. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know.
yeah. It's killer, Jerry. Killer. Oh man, just like Wei Zhao taking down the support Yancer. So again, another one, and Wei Zhao's just been going so aggressive. That's what
Yeah,
we talked about before as well.
That was really bad. This is a free Baron basically, and I mean, Yancer should have been nowhere near there because there was no war coverage for the side of Young Glory at that point. So basically, they're hoping for the miracle steal right now.
Well, I mean, he's done it to the dragon twice, so let's see how this one works out, ladies and gentlemen. There is one little ward cheeking around in the pit. Wei Zhao
Nice.
taking some damage from Zhen Long. Tidal Wave actually being used up for zoning potential. They're going to jump off the Baron Counter-Strike, not going to get any stuns whatsoever. And the Sonic Wave back up and in Wild Growth as well. And now they're just trying to trade. Nice Aqua Prison up and in, but that's going to be Ninja picking up one kill. Zhen Long down
Nice
the count.
kill,
Wei Zhao picks up
Zhao.
another. And now that is going to be a runaway Yinfu and the Baron being engaged upon again by WE.
Really nice kills coming out from Wei Zhao. He positioned beautifully during that fight. It was able to flash out, proc the heal, get the last 2 ticks onto Diangun, but we might see another fight right here.
Ninja from a distance secure the kill on the Yinfu in the jungle as well. And now it's going to be Diangun and Yancer 2v5. Can they save the day? Who knows? Windwall's up and out. Last breath combination on the knockup. Not going to get any kills thus far. Zoe's Hourglass has popped the calling channel as well. Down for the count from a distance, Wei Zhao. Nice job. Top of the key. Shot up and in. Baron going to be going over to W's. There's a teleport being engaged on. This fight just continues for days, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be Wei Zhao trying to duel out Yancer. Can he do that? But a nice counter strike. And now Wei Zhao picks up one. Down for the count goes number 1. And speak of the devil, another Baron, WE.
I mean, when Ninja is on the Soraka and there are 2, Lucian doesn't do a lot of magic damage, but when there are 2, oh, that's a Soraka. Oh my goodness. And I might have just spoiled it, but I think that is a surrender vote coming out for the side
Wow.
of Young Glory.
And that is a very, very, 21-4 WE outright first place in the LPL standings.
Thank God, Nick, because I honestly couldn't do this ish anymore. That was one of the most horrible experiences of my life. We will get this. We will get that fixed. But just to go over the game, really, I mean, again, if I'm going to give anyone my MVP, it's Axine. Axine has been playing beautifully tonight. He really has been setting up his lanes very well. He understands the flow of the game. He understands which lanes he needs to visit in order to capitalize on minion waves pushing towards turrets. And honestly, Worldly has played 2 very clean games right now. It helped that every single lane for World Elite was just straight up mechanically better than Young Glory's lanes. However, when you in this 2v1 meta, in the teleport meta, it's less about mechanical outplays and it's more about whether you can strategically, whether the jungler, the top laner, and the support can strategically move up and down the map to find picks and or to convert objectives into free gold. And Worley was able to do that in both games. I believe they got the first. In both games, I thought they got the first dragon, even though Young Glory was able to grab the second and third dragons in the second game, in the second match. And, Worley had always had very firm control of vision over the Baron and Dragon Pit. So, really impressed, but I think, I'll be resetting my VOD. Hopefully you'll be resetting too.
Well,
and
I'm going to tell you what.
Yeah.
We have
We'll
75 minutes.
Ready for OMG IG.
75 minutes before the next set commences. So
Yes, sir.
we've got a while to wait. I don't know if you want to try and do something that time, if you just want to play music, but it is going to be on you. We can resync the streams if you like and then talk some more. Who knows? Maybe play some games.
Sure thing.
I don't know. But, ladies and gentlemen, WE do take outright first place in the LPL standings. We'll see if Invictus Gaming can actually tie them up if they beat OMG. But as it stands right now, they are on top of a 2-0 set victory against Young Glory. So we are going to play some advertisements. I am Nick Yako with Soldra. And you can follow us on Twitter if you like our casting. I'm at Nick Yako. He's at SoldraXD. Those are on your screen right in the bottom right corner. So if you like what you see, just go ahead and give those a follow. Also, shout-outs now. This tournament's sponsored out by Gosu Gamers and Games in Asia as this Tencent LPL coverage. So like I said, advertisements and music, we will be back in a little bit.
Soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. I seek you out.